Yeah, that's Wi-Fi. Hi. My Wi-Fi has been in and out since I keep forgetting what month we're in. Well, I'm Molly, and it's September.
I'm Cawley, and you are right.
My Wi-Fi has been out since August 13th. In and out, in and out.
So, for those of you who saw our post today, that was a very old picture of us. Although I'm happy with what we looked like back then in a very terrible picture.
I think in some ways we look younger.
Yeah.
Now a little bit. I mean, obviously, gray hair and whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I look at older pictures of us, and I sometimes feel like we look a little bit younger. Maybe it's because a little bit more self-aware or have more insight into who we are as people and our voice and whatnot. But yeah, that was at Rolf's. I call it the place where Christmas vomited.
Yeah, it's a bar in Manhattan. It's a German restaurant bar.
23rd and some second or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 22nd and 3rd Avenue, I think, or 21st and 3rd Avenue.
Yeah, if you're like claustrophobic, I would not recommend
it. Right. It is tight, as most bars in Manhattan are.
Well, no, but it's all the decoration.
Yeah.
But I remember that night vividly because I remember I showed up with lashes on, fake lashes, and you and Dave were like, we knew you were going to show up with fake lashes on. I guess I must have been wearing them a lot then. I don't know. But I did. I looked at the picture. I had them on.
Yeah. Molly likes lashes and red lips regardless of the occasion, which is a very, very good thing.
Yeah, but now it's more red lips with the stains so that doesn't come off on my mask. And now it's that my brows have been done, just, sometimes a swipe of the mascara.
I know. I was looking at my chin today and I'm like, why is my chin is broken out like I'm some, 15-year-old? And like, oh, because I'm wearing a mask all the time.
Yeah, I know. I try to pull it down when I'm in the park and whatnot, but we're just talking like we're by ourselves.
Right.
I'm sorry about that.
For our Wellness Wednesday today, our topic was emotional wellness, because this is a very, very hard topic for me.
Yeah, and this will not be a one-hit wonder. We'll come back to this emotion because it's not something that you talk about in 5 minutes. And okay.
Yeah, and we've touched on it before also in some of our other meditation talks and wellness talks. So
yeah.
It's just for me, I think it's like my biggest challenge we started that meditation challenge.
Yeah.
And I've noticed just so much more awareness of the inner talking, and it's awful.
Yeah, it's not. Some days for me, it's better than others. I feel like, and I'm not really sure why. I know there's obviously a couple of things happening in the world, in our country, and stuff like that. But I feel like I've been a little bit angrier lately. I don't think. Well, I'm not with anybody but Abby, really, usually. So you maybe haven't noticed, but I've been feeling that more. And then the self-talk, and I've been having really crazy dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Where I've been blaming myself for things that are 100% not my fault. But it goes back to, old voices in my head, old family tapes of people, saying things to me that you hold on to. And what was Jenny from our breathwork saying, that most of the stuff, and for those of you who have young kids, I don't, but it kind of solidifies by the time you're 12. Is that correct? Is that what she said?
Yep.
So which is kind of terrifying. I mean, I can see, obviously Abby's on 4 legs, but I know her first year of life was not good. Mm-hmm. And, she's come around and she's, but she still has that from her first year of abuse, you know? So it's like, you think about what you say to your children, because that becomes part of their inner voice, their tape that's on a loop.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of what we're talking about here. It's like the voice that you speak to yourself with. Yeah, I would never say, oh my God, Cawley, you look horrible in that outfit. What happened to you? Oh my God, when are you getting your hair done? But I'll say that to myself.
Right.
Like, I'll look in a mirror and I'll be like, oh no, girl. I don't know what happened here between yesterday and today, but you're not wearing those pants.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
or even if you just forget something and I'm like, God, in my head, you know, God damn it, what is wrong with you? And like, would I say that to you if you came, you know, to do something and you forgot one dumb thing?
No. Like, I'm still carrying that picture around of Lainey from her birthday, still in my backpack.
I totally forgot about it.
That I was supposed to give you, and then I was supposed to give you again, and then we were in Atlanta. And
so, funny side note, it was Molly's birthday and my daughter's birthday are kind of close, but they straddle Christmas and New Year's. So I gave Molly's birthday card to her on my daughter's birthday, which was the first week of January. And in the card, I gave her a picture of my daughter.
No, not just your daughter. It was you and Jim and your daughter. And it was
my family.
I was like,
Molly opened the card and was like, oh, thanks.
Thanks for the family photo.
Right.
But you haven't yelled at me once for not remembering to give it to you.
Right.
I'll do that too. Like, oh my, you know, we're harder on ourselves, I think, for the most part, than you would be on somebody else. I mean, hopefully. You don't want to be yelling at somebody else like that, because then you're just an asshole. Sorry.
Absolutely. So to try to work on it, Molly and I have both read books that we highly recommend. Mine was called Mastering Your Mean Girl by Melissa Ambrosini. I can't find it at the moment, but I know it's somewhere in my house. And I'm sure the minute we turn this off, I'll turn around and see it sitting right there. But I'll put the link to it in the comments. But Molly, what were your two books?
Well, this isn't a book. It's the Cliff Notes version, because I'm also about to start reading this. And then I'm also reading The Migration. I can't think. It's a book about historical. It's really good. It's like 1,000 pages. So I don't want to set myself up for failure. But this, if you haven't done it, The Road Back to You, this is a study guide. And it's called an Enneagram. And it kind of is, if you've ever read, which I've read a long time ago, The Love Languages, and it's like kind of like how you need somebody to speak to you. I mean, it doesn't have to be your partner or your lover or somebody you're dating. It could be anybody, but like how you're going to hear something, like how you have to speak to some people need, oh my God, that was a great job. Some people need a gold star, like a literal gold star sticker. Like some people, you need different things for you to feel heard and, you know, worthy and whatnot. And so This is kind of like how you are in the world, I guess, how you see the world. And there's 9 different types. And I straddle, well, I'm mainly the investigator. Let me know if you think this sounds like me.
Okay.
Analytical, detached, private. They are motivated by a need to gain knowledge, conserve energy, and they avoid relying on others.
Pretty damn close, I think.
Yeah, but they call it your wing. The wing one, what is it called? Wing, whatever, the wing numbers. So mine is 4 and 6, the romantic and the loyalist. And I kind of can see, like, the loyalist, you're motivated by fear and the need for security. So I can kind of see that. Like, in myself. And then I'm also like sensitive and creative, but I can be moody, but I also want to be understood. So it's like, you're not necessarily just, one thing,
Right.
But it just helps you kind of look at yourself in a way that, not like, oh my God, that's an awful thing about me, but just to be more cognizant. And there's this thing called SNAP. Like, it's like stop, notice, ask yourself, and then like pivot and try to like do something different. Like stop what you're thinking and, notice what it is that you're thinking, and then ask, like, how would my life be different if I didn't have this belief anymore? And then pivot and try to do something different. And I've done that I've done I did a lot of work in my late 20s, early 30s on myself, but it's constant. You have to constantly be doing it. It's not like, oh, I read this book and I'm done.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If only. So this is really good. And it's a free quiz. You'll have to do it, Cawley, and then we'll talk about it. And then I just also got the Dare to Lead, which she's amazing. I mean, her
podcasts, I love her,
are amazing. So I'm going to start reading this, and kind of delve into that, because I've been feeling like I've needed to do a little bit more work, and I have the time.
Well, we always have the time. It's,
we always have the time, but now I have a lot of time.
Yeah. But I like that SNAP acronym that you use, because that's sort of what I've been trying to do, is like acknowledge saying something awful and, trying to reverse it or improve on it, or, just at least notice it more.
Yeah, that's what it is. And this woman suggests like putting it in your phone, like a snap. It's like whenever in the middle of the day, like it's like stop and like look at, like notice what's going on around you. And like if you're mad at yourself for something, like you forgot something or something with Lainey, come up like with your own questions and then do something different. Like one of her things in here was like being late to pick up your kid at school. Oh my God, I'm the worst mom on the planet. Well, probably not.
It's so funny you said that, because I pulled up to Lainey's school today at, honestly, less than 2 minutes late. I went running and I was like, I'm so sorry, because she was the last one. Because, now during COVID, like pickups and drop-offs are very, very different. And I came running up and I was like, I'm so sorry I'm late. The teacher was like, you're not late. Like,
right. But like, so stop and think, okay, I'm not the worst mom in the world. I'm not, Lainey isn't going to be scarred for life because, I was 60 seconds late. And then and so her thing was, maybe treat yourself and Lainey, not obviously today or whatever, ice cream, but like a treat, like, because you are a mom. And it's like, I know the biggest thing when I was growing up was, like I was always afraid to make mistakes or to ask for help. And I remember vividly telling Jack and Eva, my niece and nephew, who Jack turned 19 yesterday, and Eva is 17. I remember always telling them, if they spilled something, it's okay. Accidents happen. We can clean it up. It's not a big deal. And when they would say, I can't do something, I would be like, what do we say? We say, I need help. Mm-hmm. Because that was something that I, not that my parents were bad parents. It just, it's a different time and different levels of understanding and awareness. And that was a big thing for me. So I try to impart that into them, that, if you drop a bottle of tequila on the floor and it breaks everywhere, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
Accidents happen.
People might actually find it funny.
Some people might stink to high heaven.
Oh, you guys tell us what you struggle with, because another thing that I have a problem with is like creating false scenarios, like driving myself crazy over like, oh, I asked so-and-so to do something, they're not going to do it, and then I'm going to be annoyed and and it's like, then I'm going to have to do it myself, and like just the crazy things that go on in your head.
The self, like, oh, Cawley hasn't gotten back to me. Is she mad at me? Did I do something wrong? What could I do?
Ooh, am I wrong about what we were supposed to do today? Like, oh.
Right. Yeah. So let us know if you guys struggle with that and what you are doing to kind of work on that, or if this is kind of like an aha moment for you. You're like, oh, wow, maybe I will. I should look into that. Or you shouldn't shit on yourself. But, you know, like if this is like an eye-opening thing for you, like if you haven't thought about the negative tape in your head.
Because it was honestly someone vocalizing it in a meeting that I had back when I used to have meetings. And she brought it up about how she talked to herself. And I was like, oh, I'm not the only one, you know?
Yes.
So sometimes it's just
nice
someone else
not one. Yeah. That does that. It's like, oh, I'm not crazy. Well, me maybe, but
not for that though.
Not for that reason. So yeah, let us know if you're reading any books, and if you've done any sort of like meditation, breath work, you know, self, not help, what's the word? Personal development, I think is the word these days, is personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let us know, and then we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, and we'll drop the links of the books in the comments, and you guys let us know what you struggle with and how you cope with it.
Yeah, and we will revisit this topic.
Absolutely, multiple times probably. And we'll be tasting something very unique tomorrow night. So
yes,
back in
30-ish.
Yep. Good night.
Have a good night.